What up? What up? It's your boy Vinny Dangerous back again with another installment of 1430. Thank you for watching. If you can, please give this video a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I got more content coming for you. Now, as far as with this one, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, but I try not to create when I really don't have a lot to talk about. Like, I try to do the weekly upload thing. I try to do weekly live streams. And I found that I got really burnt out really fast. So instead of just trying to keep up with the schedule, trying to keep up with the algorithm, and also forcing content, because I found myself just making videos for the sake of making them. I wasn't really talking about things that I really wanted to talk about. I'm just going to upload when I feel inspired, because it's better for y'all, the people watching, and for me, because I really want to make sure that whatever I upload is stuff that I can stand behind, stuff that I actually want to watch myself if I was a viewer and not the one in front of the camera. But I'm always open for suggestions. If you have any suggestions, anything that you would like me to discuss, leave them in the comments. Also, you can hit me up on the Instagram page at the 1430 podcast, or you can hit me up on my personal page at Vinny Dangerous. And if I end up using your video, I'll definitely give you a shout out and let the people know that you're the person that gave me the inspiration for it. So yeah, definitely do that. If you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Now, back to this video, because I needed a perfect excuse to get back in front of the camera and talk to y'all. And what better excuse, the announcement of the 2025 Grammy Awards. Now, for the people who will watch my last video, and if you haven't, you definitely should, I had a very special interest in the rap category this year. Like every year, it's a topic of discussion. Every year I'm curious about, who the Academy decides to recognize, even if they don't win, just to see who they were giving the nominations to. But I was especially invested this year. Go back and watch the video. Hip hop has a Tommy Richmond problem, but I talked about how $1 Million Baby and Devil Is a Lie were sent in for rap Grammys after Tommy Richmond decided to make his declaration that he was not a hip hop artist. And I was very interested to see if the Academy was going to, pick up those nominations or not. Did they? Well, we're about to find out. I'm going to pull up the list. Not only we're going to look into that, but I'm going to look into give my thoughts, my predictions on who may walk away with some of the awards, and maybe some possible snubs. I say possible because, spoiler alert, I really feel like, for the most part, the Grammys got it right this year. I know that they've been trying to correct the process. Turns out for years, hip-hop has been disgruntled with a lot of the nominations and a lot of the awards that are handed out for hip-hop artists. And it turns out that it's because a lot of the people that were giving the awards or voting on it were people that were not as tapped in with the culture. And I think that the Recording Academy has been trying to correct this, and a lot more people that are a lot more knowledgeable about the culture have been making the picks this year, or for the years, maybe since like 2020. And I think for the most part, other than a couple here and there nitpicks, I think they pretty much get it right ever since they made that change. And I feel like this year isn't any different. I'm only going to talk about the categories that I am familiar with. So I'm a hip hop artist, also produce for R&B. So I'm only going to really talk about hip hop and R&B. I do listen to other musical genres, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to give an educated opinion on who should or who could end up with what, depending on how, those particular, tracks or those particular albums did within their, their genre. I'll talk about the big four a little bit because I am familiar with the majority of the artists that are in there. But, I'm going to probably just give a little educated guess. I'm not really as knowledgeable, so definitely don't take anything I say for gospel either, because this is all just my opinion. But especially with artists outside of rap and R&B, I'm not going to be as knowledgeable about, how they did and how people who are, fans of their music, would rate them or would kind of see what their chances are for getting the awards. But, again, in the comments, let me know if there's any artists in other genres. I do listen to pretty much everything. So if you have any suggestions and you're outside of the hip hop and R&B bubble, leave some suggestions, and I'll definitely let you know if I'll give. And I'm gonna definitely give them a shot if you leave them in the comments, and I'll let you know if I'm feeling it or not. But yeah, let me go ahead and pull up the nominations. I have the list pulled up. Shout out to Hip Hop DX, one of my favorite hip hop news websites that's running, that I feel for the most part are still, doing good work. So yeah, let me pull up the list real quick. Now, the way my setup is, I'm gonna be looking sideways a little bit. My camera's here and the screen is off to my left. So apologies if this feels a little weird, but so I have it pulled. I have all the rap categories pulled up. So best rap album, J. Cole, Might Delete Later, Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium Volume 1, Doechii, Alligator Bites Never Heal, Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, Future and Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You. Like, I really feel like these are some good picks. I would question the J. Cole inclusion. Now, I'm not a J. Cole hater. I know, my first video back was criticizing Port Antonio, but I'm not a J. Cole hater whatsoever. And for the most part, it was a good album. I'm not saying it was bad. I just question it a little bit because, like I was talking about, there are a few snubs in my opinion. First one that comes to mind is Schoolboy Q's Blueface album. Also, Event Staples. I know it's not a album that people would, I guess, immediately think of, as far as like Grammys, because they tend to skew like really popular, really industry with their picks, even with the changes that they've made in the Recording Academy. But I don't know. I feel like, Vince has tapped in with the Hollywood world. He had his show out earlier this year that was really dope and really well received. So I don't know. I thought he might get a nod. And it was a great album too. So, but those are really the only two that I could think of. Also thought Rhapsody's album was dope, but I really couldn't make that strong of an argument for her to be up here. I was really surprised at like Doechii and Common and Pete Rock's inclusion. And not because they're not great. Actually, Common's album, I'm still putting together my list for the end of the year, but the Common Pete Rock album is probably, if not my favorite album, but definitely in the top 2 or 3 favorite rap albums that have come out this year. The Academy doesn't really seem to favor like real purist type of albums like this though. So that's why it surprised me, but I love that it's gotten the recognition, and it definitely should be one of the front runners to win if I had my say. And then the Doechii Alligator Bites Never Heal is an album that, for one, a lot of people were categorizing it as a mixtape. So I didn't even know if it was I didn't even think about it as being in consideration, just because usually when they categorize something like this as a mixtape instead of an album, it kind of seems that they don't really give it this certain level of importance, or the same level of importance that an album would get. But I think because of the response to it and the love that Doechii's been getting since it came out, I think they might have made it an exception. I'm happy to see it here. My thoughts, who I would want to win this, I would love to see Pete Rock and Common get the nod. Even Doechii, who I think would win ultimately, though, is going to come down, in my opinion, it's going to come down to Future or Eminem. Like Eminem, he did crazy numbers, I think, even with like very little promotion, at least from what I can see. And even though I was feeling it, I was feeling this album more than most from the way that people were talking about it online, but I don't see it as the better album up here. But I just kind of figured, like, people, they're going to see Eminem. He's a legend. He always does great when he's in these at the Grammys. He's always done great at the Grammys. So I feel like he has a good shot of winning this. And then Future and Metro Boomin is one of the biggest albums all year, from both a number standpoint and an impact standpoint. Like that alone, puts this album over the top for me. as far as like one of the most talked about albums of the year. And so I can see either one of them going to it. I wouldn't be mad at Future and Metro Boomin getting it. Eminem would just be kind of a safe, predictable pick to me. I don't think it deserves it over pretty much anything on here, but I can see them giving it to him. So those are my two predictions on where I think it most likely would go. So for best rap song, Rhapsody featuring Hit Boy, Asteroids. Very surprised that this one got a nod, because of all the songs here, it seems the least popular. Like, it's definitely a great song. It's one of the highlights from the album, really. But I don't know, that one seems like more of a pick to appease the purists. But nevertheless, love that Rhapsody got a nod there. Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign featuring Rich the Kid and Playboi Carti, Carnival. It shouldn't be here. Now, I feel like you can't ignore it. It was a number one song at one point, even if it was number one for like maybe a couple weeks. But of all the songs here, on a quality standpoint, it really should not be here. Future and Metro Boomin featuring Kendrick Lamar, Like That. I talked about that, with the rap album. Like, that song alone definitely elevates that album to where it is now. So I'm not surprised the song is here. Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, a given, and Glorilla, yeah, Glow. Love the love that Glorilla's getting. Honestly, haven't listened to the album. I might need to listen to it before I put together my end of year list, just so I can see if I need to give it consideration. I'm not really into Glorilla stuff like that, but like, she seemed like a really, good person. Like, her personality seems dope, and everybody loves the album. Everybody loves this song, so I'm not surprised it's up here. Who I would want it to go to, I mean, it's either Like That or Not Like Us for me. Every other song on here, except for Carnival, is cool. It's just dope that Glorilla and Rhapsody are getting that recognition. But I seriously doubt anybody's beating Not Like Us. And the only other song I think that has any shot at it is Like That. So either way, it's a win for Kendrick, whether it's him as a feature or him as the main artist. But yeah, it's down to those two, hands down for me. Best rap performance. I didn't even know that Cardi B song came out, to be honest. Like, when I saw that, I was like, damn, she put out a song this year? All right. I went back and listened to it. It's cool. I feel like I did hear it, but just came and went for me. Common and Pete Rock again with When the Sun Shines Again. And that's my favorite song. That is my favorite song from the album. Well, one of them. Like I said, it's a great album. But that was definitely one of the standout tracks. And I really love that it's getting its recognition here. Doechii, Nissan Altima. That was the one that made me stand up. Like, I'd already liked Doechii, but that song, like, when I saw that, I saw the song, I saw the video, and I heard the song, and was like, oh yeah, this is about to be special. And it was right. Like, the album is phenomenal. Eminem Houdini, one of the better tracks from that Eminem record. And I really love the video for it. Like, him and Slim Shady going back and forth. Like, that, I wonder, did that one get nominated for best music video? I have to go back and check. I don't have it on this list here, but it definitely should be up there. If not, Metro Boomin, Future, Kendrick Lamar, Like That Again, Glorilla, yeah, Glow, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Again, I feel like it's gonna come down to either Like That or Not Like Us. I could see them maybe splitting it up. If Kendrick don't walk away with all of them, I could see them giving, or better yet, if Not Like Us doesn't win all of the rap category that it's in, I could see them splitting it up and giving maybe one, like, best rap song to Like That, and then best rap performance to Not Like Us. I could see them doing something like that, but it really feels like Not Like Us is walking away with everything with this album. Best melodic rap performance. To me, this is such a weird ass category to me. Like, at first I was like, I thought it was a category for like the crooners, like the Juice WRLD, the Travis Scotts, the Futures. But then you get somebody like a Future on here, but then every once in a while they'll throw like an R&B act, or a rapper that has a singer on the chorus. And even one of these, like the Beyonce, Shabuzi, Linda Martell track, Spaghetti, like that just seems such a weird pick to put in a rap Grammy category. But, with this one, like I like the Kalani record. Spaghetti was, even though I don't agree with it being here, just because of its placement just feels a little weird, I still think it's a dope song. I don't like that We Still Don't Trust You track. I think the We Still Don't Trust You album significantly weaker than We Don't Trust You, just in my personal opinion. Like, I love We Don't Trust You. We Still Don't Trust You. It's just really hard for me to find tracks that I really vibe with as much. A Lotto, Big Mama, that was a cool record. And then Rap City, I love the love Rap City's getting for that album. I thought, even though it wasn't one of my favorite albums of the year, like it's definitely not my favorite Rap City album, it's still a high quality record, and I love that she's getting as much love as she is with a lot of these nominations. I can see them giving this to future Metro Boomin, maybe even Beyonce, because I saw somewhere where she has 11 nominations, and I believe that ties her with Thriller as having like the most nominations for a single album at the Grammys, which is a really dope stat. Don't quote me on it. I meant to look it up before I started recording, but I forgot. So that's just what I'm thinking. You can let me know in the comments if I'm right or not. But, even if that's not the case, 11 nominations for one album is ridiculous. And well-deserved. Cowboy Carter was dope. Even as somebody that doesn't really like country music like that, it's a really dope album. But yeah, I'm thinking We Don't Trust You, maybe Beyonce. I would love for the Kalani record to get it, though. I like the Kalani record is really dope. And the story behind that song, Jordan put the song together and it went viral on TikTok. And for Kalani to hear that and reach out and want to jump on the track, to kind of help get more eyes and elevate it even further, I thought that was dope. And so, but just as like a story, like an industry story, that would be really cool if they got that. But I'm pretty confident The Weeknd, Metro Boomin, and Future are probably gonna walk away with it. Maybe Beyonce record might get it, but we'll see. All right, let me scroll down. Album of the year. I wanted to talk about this one just because I thought it was funny that Andre 3000, after getting dragged through the coals last year when he dropped New Blue Sun and it was going to be a flute album, I took up for him. Like, I actually did a video or a live stream about it. I was actually debating with my boy P about it, actually. I'll put it in the card here. But we were going back and forth about that. And there were a lot of people that gave him a lot of shit for coming back and finally doing an album, but doing it as a contemporary jazz album, I guess you would call it. So to see him get nominated for New Blue Sun for Album of the Year is crazy to me. Of course, you got Beyonce, Cowboy Carter, Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet, Charlie XCX, Brat, Jacob Collier. Never heard that one. Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Chaperone, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, and of course Taylor Swift, Tortured Poets Department. Like I said, I'm not as familiar with a lot of these other albums. I know Brat was a humongous album. Even as somebody that's not as familiar with Charlie XCX's category like that, catalog like that, excuse me. I just remember seeing the marketing everywhere, and I could definitely see that one walking away from it. You can never count out Taylor Swift. Chaperone was having a great year. You can never count out Billie Eilish. And I would love to see Beyonce get it as somebody that is as decorated of an artist as she is at the Grammys, and for her never to have won Album of the Year despite having like an amazing body of work. That I feel like at least one of those albums, especially Lemonade, should have definitely gotten a win one year, that year when it came out. So I would love for her to get it. It would be funny as hell if Andre won, though. Like, that would be hilarious. And I hope he's there to accept it and he has his flute with him. I hope whatever his speech is, I just hope it throws a jab at all the people that had all that shit to talk about him dropping a flute album. That would just be hilarious. But my gut I mean, as familiar as I'm not as familiar, so I could be completely wrong. Charlie, Taylor Swift, hoping for Beyonce though. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. Song of the year, Shabuzi, a bar song, Billie Eilish, Birds of a Feather, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Die With a Smile, Taylor Swift and that other guy, Fortnite, Chappell Roan, Good Luck Babe, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, Sabrina Carpenter, Please, 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 Beyonce, Texas Hold'em. Again, not familiar. I can only tell you that Shabuzi's record has been like #1 all year, breaking records. Can never count out Taylor Swift. Can never count out Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish. Chappell Roan's been having a great year. Texas Hold'em was a big record for Beyonce. I would love for Not Like Us to win though. I mean, it's in record of the year also. I'm just like, I really want Kendrick to get one of the big ones. Just because not only just because it would be funny, but because it was a humongous record. The biggest hip hop record by far all year. So I would love for it to get it. I'm always going to root for hip hop when hip hop's there. But yeah, it would also be just hilarious. But I don't know. I don't see I don't see the people at the Academy, because with these big ones, it's not just people in your genre. At that point, everybody's voting, and I could see them going, that song is a diss record, calling Drake a PDF file and calling him a colonizer, and I could see them just kind of turn, like some people outside of the hip hop bubble turning their nose up and being like, nah, we're not gonna do that one. But yeah, like I would love for Shabuzi to get it though. Like in my video when I was talking about the Tommy Richmond thing, I did give a shout out to Shabuzi, because in the same position, I felt like he handled the idea of being both hip hop and country a lot better than Tommy Richmond did. So I would like to see him get it. Plus, that would mean Jaquan, because this is an interpolation of Jaquan's hit Tipsy from 20 years ago at this point. And that would mean Jaquan would get a Grammy. Now, that would be dope as hell. Like, you go from being a one-hit wonder, like it happened with Victoria Monet when she won a Grammy for On My Mama. And I can't remember, I think Charlie Boy, that's his name. Charlie Boy gets a Grammy because she interpolates his record from back in the day and made her record. And now he gets a Grammy to take home. He goes from being a one-hit wonder to a Grammy winner. And so I would love that for Jaquan. I love that for Shabuzi. But, I would also love it even more if Not Like Us won. But, I don't really know. It could be any of these picks, to be honest. Record of the year. The Beatles, did not know the Beatles were still making music, let alone put something out this year. Now and Then, Beyonce, Texas Hold'em, Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso, Charlie XCX, 360, Billie Eilish, Birds of a Feather, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Chappell Roan, Good Luck Babe, Taylor Swift, and that other guy, Fortnite. Again, I'd love it if Not Like Us won. I wouldn't be mad at a Beyonce win. Charlie XCX had a great year. Just don't give it to the other guy. No hate to Taylor Swift, but just don't give it to the other guy. That's all I got to say about that. And the last of the big four, Best New Artist, Bronson Bone, Sabrina Carpenter, Doechii. I don't know who that is, and I can't pronounce that, but it's the name that starts with a K. Ray, Chappell Roan, Shabuzi, Teddy Swims. Again, this is a category that has a bunch of people, including the one I can't pronounce, that I am not familiar with. I love that Doechii again gets that nod because she's having a great year, and I love that she got that recognition. Sabrina Carpenter's been everywhere. Chappell Roan's been everywhere. Shabuzi's had an amazing year because of a bar song, Tipsy. Everybody else I'm not familiar with, so I can't really give you an answer. If I had to pick anybody, I'd probably say Shabuzi or Sabrina Carpenter. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. And then these are that's some more R&B. Best R&B album, Chris Brown, 11:11 Deluxe, Layla Hathaway, Vanna Black. Did not listen to it, didn't know it came out, but I'm definitely going to give it a shot because I love Layla Hathaway. Money Long, Revenge, Lucky Day, Algorithm, Usher, Coming Home. Automatically take Usher and Chris Brown out. That's probably like a popular vote. I did not like those albums at all. I can see them winning. Personally, I don't think they should be here. Like I said, I didn't hear the Layla Hathaway album. Money Long's album was really good. But if I had to pick the album that I would really want to win, it would be Lucky Day. And it wasn't even one of my favorite Lucky Day albums. I actually liked his album before this one more. But I actually just liked the sound he was using. It still has some really good tracks on it. He was very experimental. So it was my favorite one. The Money Long album is really good too. Layla Hathaway, I could come back later and tell you if it wins over the rest of them, in my opinion. But after I listen to it, so right now I'd probably say Lucky Day, but I might come back and change my mind after I listen to Layla Hathaway's album. You got Best Progressive R&B Album. Avery Sunshine, So Glad to Know You. Not familiar with him or her. I actually don't know who that is. I could give that album a shot and I could let y'all know if I rock with it or not. But yeah, I'm not familiar. Durand. I know who this is, and I actually heard this EP. I could never pronounce their name though. I've never heard it pronounced. I've always just seen it written, like with on streaming on social media or something. Actually, never heard it said out loud. I don't want to. I'm really big on not wanting to butcher people's names if I don't know how to pronounce stuff. So I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't want to do that. En Route is the EP. Really good. Actually, I found something interesting. It's like the independent, like the album's released independently, self-funded, and it's nominated for a Grammy. So I thought that was dope. Childish Gambino, Bando, Stone, The New World, Kalani Crash, No Worries, Why Lord. I've automatically given it to Why Lord, hands down. I'm familiar with everything but Avery Sunshine. And no disrespect to Avery Sunshine, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a better album than this No Worries album. This No Worries album is amazing. If you have not listened to No Worries, Why Lord, please change that ASAP. It is definitely one of my favorite albums all year. Even with the high standard that the first one did with No Worries, the collaboration between Anderson .Paak and Knowledge, or just Anderson .Paak's output since I first heard him in 2016 when I listened to Malibu. Like the dude outdid themselves with this album. Even with the high expectations I had, they exceeded it with this one. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and listen to the Avery Sunshine album, and if I really feel like I could confidently put it over No Worries, I'll let y'all know. But man, it'll be really tough. It's really tough to beat Why Lord. I was not a big fan of that Childish Gambino album, or the Kalani album for that matter. I'm not that big of a Kalani fan. Her music never stuck with me. Like, it's not bad. She's never, stuck with me that long. Like, she's had records here and there, but a whole album, I wasn't really feeling this one, honestly. But, it's cool that she got recognition. I'm a Childish Gambino fan on the flip side of that, and I was not feeling this album. Like, it had a couple of songs. I love the song with Chloe, Survive. That's probably the only track that I saved from that record that I go back and listen to. But yeah, I wasn't really feeling that one. But even if I was, I just can't see nothing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Childish, maybe Kalani could win this one. But I feel like Anderson .Paak and Knowledge should definitely walk away with this one. Best R&B song, After Hours with Kalani. I did like that song. Even though I'm not a big fan of the album, I did like that song. Tim's Burning, Coco Jones, Here We Go, Money Long, Ruined Me, SZA, Saturn. Of all these records, I'd probably say I was more of a fan of the Tim's record, but I'd probably give it to SZA. The SZA record was big, and it's actually a really good record. I just like the Tim's record more, but that's probably my second favorite of the ones listed here. Another one, I like Coco Jones has a really good voice. I can never really get into the songs, honestly. She's had a couple joints that made me double back a couple times, but never really have been as interested in her music as much as I am interested in hearing her sing, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would probably say SZA's probably gonna walk away with that one, but I would love for Tim to get that one too. Best R&B performance, Aiko, Guidance, Chris Brown, Residuals. I don't even remember that song. And I remember that. I listened to the album and I don't remember that. Coco Jones, Here We Go, Money Long, Made for Me, live on BT, which that's interesting that they have a live recording here. And then SZA Saturn. Now, as far as performance, I'd probably say either Coco Jones or Money Long would get it. I could see SZA maybe walking away with this one too. But if you were talking about performance, like, I don't remember the BET one. I remember the song on the album, Made for Me by Money Long. And it's a really good performance even on that. So I know she probably killed it on the BET one. So I'd probably say one of those two. Like I said, I'm more interested in hearing Coco Jones sing than the actual songs. So, but she's a really great performer, so I can see her getting that one. So those are my two picks. They might give it to SZA though. Traditional R&B performance. This might be the last one. Marsha Ambrosia, Wet, also a really great album. Surprisingly, I don't go back to that one as much, but it was a really great album. Kenya Dixon, Can I Have This Groove? Really dope song. Layla Hathaway featuring Michael McDonald, No Lie. Again, I didn't listen to the album. I'm definitely going to give it a shout though, because I didn't know she had dropped. Money Long, Make Me Forget. Is that the same track, but just the regular version? No. Okay, Make Me Forget. And the other one's called Made For Me. And Lucky Day, That's You. Honestly, this is a tough one. Because saying traditional R&B, even without hearing the song, I know Layla Hathaway gives a great performance. And it's a duet. So I could see, that one kind of pushing it over the edge because they have to coordinate, so I don't know. But it's you can't really bet against Marsha or Lucky Day when it comes to the performance department. I'd probably give it to Marsha. And I'd probably give it to or Lucky Day. But again, I have to listen to Layla Hathaway, and I know she gives great performances. So it could go either way with this one. So all of these other ones I'm not as familiar with. Shout out to Disclosure and K Tronada. I love that witchy track with Childish Gambino with K Tronada. Like, I would love for that to get some love. The K Tronada album was cool, but again, I don't know the other albums that well, so I can't really say if it deserves to get the shout or not. Shout out to Beyonce getting Best Country Album nomination. Don't give it to the other guy. I don't know anybody else, but just don't give it to the other guy. I'd appreciate that. Best Music Video. Oh, yeah. So Eminem, Houdini is nominated. That was a really great video. The A$AP Rocky video was very creative too. And I actually did see the Charlie XCX video. That's a really good one. And of course, Not Like Us. I'm always going to root hip hop. Not Like Us or Eminem would be my picks for the hip hop end. But, you can't really count out a Charlie XCX or Taylor Swift, even though I don't want the other guy to get it. So I ain't really been on my Afro beats. I haven't really been on my African music this year like that. Like, Tim's album was dope. The Burna Boy track was dope. The rest of these I'm not as familiar with. Oh, no, actually, the WizKid, I don't want to butcher that, so I don't want to say it. But I did hear that record. That's a good one, too. So, yeah, it could go either way. And I think that might be it. That might be it for things. Oh, and Best Instrumental Composition. God, I'm blanking. I can't read today. Best Instrumental Composition. Shout out to Andre 3000 getting another nomination. I swear I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. I thought that's the first track, and it's like 9-10 minutes long. And yeah, if he won with an album like that would be hilarious. I mean, with a song like that would be hilarious. These are my Grammy predictions. Like I said, only besides Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q or the Vince Staples album that came out this year, I'm not seeing anything snub worthy. I mean, there were albums that I really enjoyed, but like, knowing how the Academy typically kind of goes, I don't see like a JPEG Mafia getting a nomination. That's probably not gonna happen. And there's other albums that I really like, but they were outside of the eligibility window too. So, but yeah, man, let me know what y'all think. That's just my thoughts on it. You saw Tommy Richmond did not get a nomination. I posted a video this past weekend, like a little short on my channel, just kind of saying, I won't go into full detail. I kind of go into it on the Tommy Richmond video that I did before, but it probably works out for the better that he didn't get the nomination. But let me know what you think about these picks, any of the categories that I didn't talk about, but you want to suggest album or song for me, definitely leave them in the comments below. I'm very open-minded, so I'll give anything a try. But yeah, until next time, it's your boy Vinny Dangerous. Much love.